We often hear horror stories, don't we, about the whole health system and how hard it is and what a nightmare it is. You know what? There are a lot of people who go through very, very happily. You're about to meet one of those people. Welcome to Daffy to Daffy. My name's Mark Bunting, and it's my absolute pleasure to be here with you today with a very, very wonderful gentleman by the name of Selwyn. The idea of this podcast is quite simply to take that obnoxious, greedy thing that we call cancer, i.e. Daffy, and deal with it in a way that teaches us resilience. And we do it through brilliance, real human brilliance. We've got our friend Selwyn with us today. Selwyn, thank you very much for coming on the podcast today.
Not a problem.
It's nice to meet you. Now, first of all, you're from Taumaranui, the thriving metropolis, and you're about as far away from anywhere as you can possibly be in Taumaranui, aren't you? It's so remote.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, but we like to think we're in the centre of everywhere.
Nicely put. Yeah, touche. And were you brought up in Taumaranui?
Yes, born and bred. Yes.
Born and bred there, yeah. So what was the school you went to there?
I went to a little country school called Mananui, which is just south of Taumaranui.
Oh, yep. Yeah, okay. And have you've lived, married, worked in Taumaranui all the time, or?
Yep, most of the time, yes. Yeah. I did leave Taumaranui for about 15 years or so, and lived in Owakuni for a few years.
Right.
Yeah, and then went cruising in the caravan for 4.5 years. Just working here and working there, getting jobs here, 6 months here, 9 months there.
Yeah. What sort of jobs were you doing?
Mainly working in top 10 holiday parks.
Oh, yeah.
My wife used to work in the office and I used to become a handyman, lawnmower, painter, sparky, chippy, plumber, whatever else was required.
Yeah. You'd be the most valuable man in the whole camping ground, wouldn't you?
Oh, I don't know about that, but...
You make a lot of friends through that?
Oh, yeah, meet some real interesting people from overseas, yes.
Yeah, you would. You would, yeah. What was your favourite camping ground down country?
Probably Franz Joseph.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't
it?
it?
We actually did 2 seasons at Franz Joseph.
Nice. Very good indeed. So you did that, so that was your kind of, if you like, your OE, wasn't it, with Joyce?
Yes, yeah. The kids had gone overseas, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we might as well do it now before I retire.
Well, if your marriage can survive living in a caravan for 4 years, by crikey, you can get through anything. That's cool. So she's a very understanding young woman. It's was she a local girl in Taumaranui as well? Or?
No, she was actually a Whangarei girl.
Okay. And so how did you meet?
Oh, long story, but cut a long story short. My sister shifted to Whangarei and became friendly with her, and then we met via my sister and.
Wonderful.
One thing led to another, etc., as they say, yeah.
And there you are. And how long have you been married for now?
50...
You better remember this, Sal, when she'll be listening.
Yeah, 52.5 years.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. So this cancer journey for you, when you were doing the right thing and doing all the blood tests and all the health checkups that you were meant to be doing, yeah?
Yes, that's how it was originally picked up with the PSA test.
PSA test, yeah.
Up until then, I didn't know I had it. No waterworks problems and no pain.
Right.
And it was only the PSA test that picked it up.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because you hear we're talking prostate.
Yes.
Okay. You hear about your flow getting impaired and there's some degree of pain as well, but you didn't have any of that.
Didn't have any of that. Wow. Everything was still working normal.
Yeah.
And absolutely no pain at all.
Right. So they noticed an abnormality in the PSA test and the blood test?
Yes. Yeah. The numbers were slowly going up. Yes.
Okay, over a period of time.
Yes.
Okay. And at what point did they say, hey, we better have a bit of a closer look at that?
Yeah, it got to about 11 and my local GP said, well, I think I better refer you to a urologist. Right. And so...
Now, see, this is where, people would normally think, when you hear refer, you're thinking, there's another 6 months to a year waiting, anxiety and pain. But you had the dream run.
Yes, like it was only just a matter of weeks.
Wow.
And saw the urologist at our outpatients clinic in Tikawiti.
Yep.
And he did an examination and said, yes, there's definitely something there. We'll have to have an MRI scan.
So this is the digital, they call it the digital examination. Is that where you get quite intimately acquainted with the doctor at that point?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And and he said, yes, we need an MRI scan. Yeah. And from the time he said that, 3 weeks later, I had my MRI scan.
Wow. Okay. That's the one where you lie in the bed
Yeah,
and go through and
and it sounds like a jackhammer breaking concrete.
it does.
Yep,
Yeah, and you got to stay as still as you possibly
Hold
can.
your breath for 12 seconds, and
Yeah. How were the staff during that though?
Oh, they were good. Well, of course, they're not in the room, but they
Yeah.
can talk to you via the headphones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And so after that, you went through the MRI scan, and then that went back to your doctor, did it, or
No, it went to the
Urologist.
urologist in Hamilton, who then said, yes, it looks like there's cancer there.
okay?
You better come up for some biopsies.
So was it quite a moment for you at that point?
Oh, not really, because I was sort of expecting it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the PSA test going up and up and up.
Yeah. I would have been more surprised if he'd have said, no, you're cancer free.
Yeah. Then your stupid tests don't work, then obviously, do they?
Yes, no, it was sort of what I was expecting.
Okay.
Yeah, while a biopsy is sort of unpleasant, it's not unbearable.
So do you mind telling me how they do it? Is they just stick a needle into your
Well, I didn't.
parts
I don't. I didn't actually see the thing that they stick up your back passage,
right?
but I had a little lump on the side of my prostate about the size of a pea.
Yeah.
And they took 3 samples off that, and then 3 samples off one side of the prostate and 3 samples off the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when the results came back, everything was positive.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But the actual machine, of course, I never saw.
No. Well, slightly wrong angle, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little unpleasant,
But they talk you through what's happening and what's going to go on.
I mean, if you want to get better, no pain, no gain.
Not a lot of men haven't gone through that. It's just we don't talk about it much.
Yeah. But it's
It's like no fuss.
It's bearable.
Yeah. So you went through that, and the biopsy came back, and it said, "Yep, there's a touch of the cancer there."
Yeah. So then the urologist said, "Well, I can't do anything else for you.
Okay.
We've got to refer you to oncologist."
Oncology.
Yeah, and I was sort of like most members of the public. I thought, oh, Jesus, here we go. This is going to be another 3 months or 6 months before we hear from anything. But that wasn't the case. It was 3 weeks later, I was talking to the oncologist.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so things just sort of flowed along, no problems at all.
So the system can work.
The system does work.
Nice.
Can work, it does work. Yeah.
It's good to hear, actually, because I mean, certainly not disparaging people who have had a different experience, but, the people who have had a good experience, you don't hear from much. So it's really lovely to hear from you about this.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. It is kind of cool. So 3 weeks later, you were talking to the oncologist.
Yes, and he worked out a plan of action, what to do, which was start on some hormone tablets to reduce the size of my prostate and lower the testosterone level.
Okay.
And also, in conjunction with that, was an injection in the stomach, 2 injections in the stomach, one then, and then another one in 3 months' time.
And what did they do?
And that lowered the testosterone level, and it also lowered the PSA level.
Okay.
After 3 months, I had to have another PSA test, and it had gone from 11 down to 1.13.
Wow, that's a drop.
Yep.
So tell me about the testosterone relationship with your prostate. What was that about?
Well, it's just to sort of to lower the level and to shrink the prostate. My prostate had actually got a bit enlarged,
Right.
but of course I didn't know.
Right.
But it showed on the MRI scan, and it was to shrink it so that the smaller it is, apparently it's better for the radiation beam to hit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's at its most vulnerable,
yes.
as it were. Okay.
Yeah, and that was part of the action plan. Was to have 20 days of radiation, which I'm in the process of now.
So that's what you're doing now. That's why you're here at the Cancer Society Lone Lodge.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell me about that that experience, and I know we're going to talk about that a bit later, but let's do that right now. Often you drive past this amazing building that we're in, and you sort of think, I wonder what goes on in there. What goes on in the lodge?
What goes on in the lodge?
What's it like?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. The staff couldn't be more helpful, and I'm absolutely blown away by the number of volunteers and the hours they put in for other people they don't even know.
Yeah. They certainly care, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, that shuttle bus is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah?
You can leave your car here. You don't have the hassles.
Oh, yeah.
And the shuttle bus is so regular. And if you miss one, you know there's going to be one in
Yeah.
a while.
Fantastic.
So it doesn't really matter because most times it's not like you're in a panic to get back here.
No, well, parking at the hospital, as we know, is can be a bit of a tricky situation at the best of times, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long is your stay at the lodge?
20 days.
20 days.
20 days, yes.
Yeah, okay. And does Joyce come up and visit you here, or
No, I just go home at the weekends.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so you have your meals here, you sleep here.
Yeah, have meals here, sleep here. Yeah. And go to the hospital.
Yeah.
At appointment times during the day. Yeah.
And you're meeting a lot of nice people.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. There's even one of my friends from Taumaranui is here at the moment. She arrived today.
What about that's a small world, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
But look, a big question on a lot of men's mind. How's the food?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Better than home. Don't tell my wife.
You might have to stay a few more nights if that gets out. Oh, crikey. Okay, so you've had a lovely run right through. So what's the prognosis for you at this point?
I see the doctor in the last week that I'm here, but his original plan was I will be cancer free at the end of the treatment.
Isn't that an amazing thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. Great news for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is early March.
Did you get told at any time during the whole journey that had you not got this when you did, it could have been worse?
Well, yes, I suppose so. The urologist did say, if I don't refer you to oncology, he said, you've probably got 5 years or you might have 10.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Mine was caught early. They do give the cancer a number, like 1 to 5, 1 being not much and 5 being we better do something tomorrow.
Yeah.
And mine was a 2, but he said only just made it into the 2.
As in from the ones,
Yes,
not from the 3s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just made it into the 2.
So you got it real early.
Yes.
Comparatively speaking.
Comparatively speaking, yeah, and that was thanks to the PSA test.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that would be the lesson of the day, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
When did you start having blood tests? How old were you then? I mean, if you don't mind, how old are you now?
75.
75? Man, you're youthful, man. Crikey.
Yeah, I'll be 76 in a couple of months.
Go you. Awesome. It's but how long have you been having the blood tests for and being, regularly checked up?
Oh, well, I shifted back to Taumaranui about 6 years ago, and ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got what I consider a really good GP.
Yeah. That's the key to it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And and he does regular blood tests for all different sorts of things, including a PSA. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was Joyce through the whole thing? When when you first came back and thought, I've got some news for you. There's a spot of rust going on down there. Yeah.
Oh no, she was. Well, you see, it was sort of gradual because the PSA sort of went up gradually, and then thought, sort of might have to go to urology and get this checked out. And no, she wasn't sort of too upset about it. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's got the same sort of matter of fact sort of attitude as yourself, really.
Yeah, well, yeah, if it's broke, you got to fix it,
Yeah. Do you think that maybe your attitude, like you have a very even manner about you, like a lovely manner, right? Do you think that has helped with your recovery or your whole ease of getting through the journey?
Oh, good question. I don't know. Yes, I do realise that some people see things differently, but I suppose it probably has, but to what extent might be hard to judge.
Who knows? There's probably someone out there taking notes right now going, on a calm scale, this guy's a 1 out of 10. Yeah, outstanding. And what about your sense of humour? Was it tested throughout the whole thing?
Oh, but I like to think I've got a reasonable sort of sense of humour.
Yeah, that's pretty apparent, yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't sort of really had any down moments or anything like that, I think, oh, shit, life's not worth living or something like that.
Right.
I have sort of never thought about that, I'm going to be right next month and be honky-dory after that.
Yeah, nice. Brilliant. So you're getting the rest of your body checked out at the same time?
Oh, yeah, well, my doctor does that regularly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to have, for driving school buses, I have to have a medical every year anyway. Like
You drive school buses?
Yes, I drive school buses, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And that's quite a rigorous medical.
It would be.
Yeah, because sometimes I have 70, 80 kids on the bus, so you...
70 or 80 kids on one bus?
Yeah.
That's a big bus, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But you pack them in.
I love it. So tell me what kids are like these days, because I know I grew up in Central Otago, a place called Maniatoto, and we had a guy called Mr. Bates, who was a wonderful man, lovely, lovely man, but we used to taunt him by counting every time he looked up in the mirror, right? And we had like 100-metre stretch of road. We think he got about 300 looks in the mirror over one stretch, and we all got put off the bus. We all got told to stand on there, and it's a long way home. We were like real rat bags, eh? What are kids like now?
Oh, no, well, like I say, the country kids that I do a long run out in the country, and they're brilliant.
Yeah, well, they know it's a long way to walk home, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, but I mean, one morning we were coming to town, a slip had come down, there was a tree branch in the road.
Oh, yeah?
And I got quite a stocky Maori boy on the bus and always wears his red band gumboots to school.
Yeah.
So I just yelled out, "Phoenix, have you got your gumboots on?" I said, "Yep." I said, "Right, get your ass out there, pull that branch out of the road." "Righto, Selwyn." So he jumps out, pulls the branch out of the road. We got past and jumps back in, and away we go.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, and the farmers out there are really good. Got a legal land for Christmas, umpteen boxes of chocolate, meat packs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this to do with your diagnosis, or they just
No, they just sort of
do that anyway?
do that every year.
How did the community respond to your news that you were getting treated for prostate?
Oh, some of them sort of couldn't believe it.
Right.
Yeah, but nothing wrong with you, Yeah, but because like I say, I had no symptoms.
Right. Yeah.
And some of them were quite shocked when I said, "Oh no, I'll be going off for a month to go for radiation on my prostate." And
Yeah. Did you get the drama queens that were like,
Oh no.
I would have moved to Taumaranui. It sounds like the easiest place in the world to live. Crikey.
Yeah.
Nothing phases you guys down there, does it?
Oh well, I suppose it's country people,
Yeah, because there used to be quite a big hospital down there, didn't there?
Yes, it used to be. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's sort of wound down to not much now.
That's the way of the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly happened that way.
Yeah.
So who have you met on the journey that you didn't think you'd meet? What kind of people have you talked to that you never thought you'd meet?
Oh, well, oncologists and neurologists and the girls that run the radiation machines. There's 4 of those at the hospital, and they're all such good people. Otherwise you meet them in the street, you wouldn't know what they did for a job or anything.
Do you mind walking me through the radiation process? Like, what do they actually physically do? Like, you've told us they go up the back door to get the biopsy.
Yes.
Okay. People don't know this stuff because, it all just happens in that big building. So would you mind telling us what happens with the radiation?
With the radiation, before you start the radiation, you have to have a CAT scan.
Right.
Right, and you lay on this bed and they put you through this machine.
Did they find any cats? Or?
No, not that I was aware of. But they put a tattoo on each side, on each hip, and one on your stomach.
A tattoo?
A tattoo, just very small.
So you still got them?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
And they line those, when you get on the machine for the radiation, they have to be lined up like right to the last millimetre.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but before you actually get the radiation, it takes an hour and a quarter preparation.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself an enema.
Right.
Wait half an hour, then go to the toilet, empty your bowels and your bladder.
Right.
And then in the next quarter of an hour, you've got to drink at least 3 cups of water.
Oh, okay. So then
you wait another half an hour, and then it's time for radiation.
Wow.
Because you have to have a full bladder but an empty bowel.
Right, okay.
But you get on the bed ready for the radiation, and they get their ultrasound out and see how full your bladder is.
Okay.
If it's not full enough, they kick you off, go and drink some more water.
Gee, you don't want to be late to one of those appointments, do you? Crikey, there's so much.
No, but it actually works out all right because there's always somebody that can jump on the bed after you, and then you jump on after them.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Waiting for the body to sort of process it all.
Process and fill your bladder up.
But then you've got to get it between, like you say, with a full bladder and an empty bowel. That's quite the art, I'd imagine.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been kicked. One Friday I got kicked off the bed 4 times before they would do it.
No way.
Yes, way.
You'd be a fine-tuned machine by now. Look at you.
But they no, they're very particular.
Right, so you're lying there. You've got your body in order. You've the right amounts of fluids in the right places. Yeah. Then what happens?
And they give you a quoit to hang on to, a ring.
Yeah.
So you just hold that like this with both hands.
Yeah.
And then you just lay dead still, and this machine starts up. You don't. It's absolutely painless. You don't feel a thing. The radiation itself, I doubt if it would even take 5 minutes.
Right. Okay. So were there any side effects that you had after it?
Just starting to get a few side effects now. It's a little bit harder to go to the toilet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but up until sort of last week, no side effects at all.
Right. The way you're going, no, there won't be. No. But do they tell you about the side effects that could happen?
Yes. They give you pamphlets and warn you about it. And
right.
This could happen. That could happen. Not that it's going to happen.
Right, but knowledge is a powerful thing, isn't it?
Yes, well, I think there's sort of covering their bases, so that.
Well, and yours quite literally. Yeah. Okay, so you've been through, how many courses of radiation do you go through?
20.
20
courses. Yes.
Wowee.
One a day.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't have to be the same time every day.
Yeah.
The time varies. But yes, but I have to do 20.
Goodness me. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Is that was yours a minimal treatment because you got it quite early, or is it normal? Or?
Well, sort of to the dose of the radiation, I don't really know. You just go there for radiation. Whether they alter it, the strength of the radiation for each patient, I couldn't tell you.
How many guys going through this at the moment? Do you know that?
Oh, heaps.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, like one every quarter of an hour.
What's incredible is that like we started this podcast talking about the fact that you hear horror stories about the hospital and you hear horror stories about the whole system getting lost in the system. But when you think about the magnitude and the amount of, in our case, men that they're dealing with, going through this at the same time, emptying their bowels, filling their bladder, doing everything exactly, it's such an act of coordination, isn't it?
Oh, yes. We sort of have a bit of a joke amongst ourselves. We say, oh, I got it first time today. Or,
yeah.
Or somebody else say, oh, I had to get off and have a second go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. And I guess every man's body's different as well, isn't it?
Yes, and how much water you drink and
Yeah. Yep. So how are you different now than you were? What's different now to you? I mean, not physically, but, emotionally, psychologically. What's different? Are you a different Selwyn? Are you the same Selwyn?
No, I'd like to think I'm sort of still pretty much the same, yeah.
Yeah, just one of those things you went through?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just sort of waiting to get the all clear from the doctor, get the last magic word, you're cancer-free. That's
going to be the first man you've ever kissed, isn't it? Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. It's going to be a big hug.
Yeah, because one of them was saying the other day, what are you going to do to celebrate, when they tell you you're cancer-free? And, I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah. So are you allowed to drink alcohol to all that, sort of stuff that people do? Or?
Well, I don't really know because I don't drink actually.
Okay.
Yes, but I think so. There's one particular guy coming to the hospital at the moment. He's a bus driver at Huntley, and I think he does a school run in the morning, comes down, gets his radiation, goes back to Huntley and does the school run in the afternoon.
Yeah, because you worked part-time through the whole treatment as well, didn't you? Is that right? Did you carry on working as well?
Oh, no, because I don't go home.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. So, but you still drove the bus when it was the whole process.
Yes, when I'd had the injections and all that. Oh, yes. I mean, didn't sort of really feel a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that the PSA reading had dropped.
Right.
That much, it still all felt the same.
Yeah, true enough. How long between when they took a test and you found out the results of the test?
For the PSA?
Yeah.
Oh, only just a few days.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It was delightful. So if there's any message you could give to men going through, because you, like you say, you're in your 70s, right? I'm in my 50s. What should I be doing now?
Yeah, regular PSA checks.
When you say regular, how regularly?
At least 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least every 6 months, yeah.
Yeah.
And sort of try to keep a graph rather than just writing a number down, put it down on a graph so if you can see that it's going slowly going up. Mine actually just sort of went a bit like this on the way up, but when you took from one end to the other, there was a gradual increase.
There's a trend.
Yes, there was a trend going up. Yep.
And so and also having a good relationship with your GP, I'd imagine as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how many people have you ever sat there and counted how many people there are that have been around you and treating you, and Team Selwyn basically?
No, I haven't, but it would be quite a few.
Yeah.
It would probably surprise me. I suppose if you count the nurses on the radiation machine, probably 25 or more. Oh no, it might even be more than that. By the time you count the nurses on and the people that run the MRI scans, and I had to have a complete a bone scan. They scanned every bone in my body.
Oh wow! So once the PSA went up, they just went to town on you.
Yeah. That was the oncology doctor. He said yes, I had to have a bone scan every bone in my body.
Wow!
But what really amazed me with that, when the scan was finished, the lady said, yes, you can get dressed and go home. And I was driving home, and I was just driving into Tiamuru, and it was the doctor ringing up, I've got the results of your scan. You're all clear.
Wow!
Wasn't even an hour.
Wow!
Yeah.
I want your course. That's fantastic. That's awesome. That's brilliant. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. It's a delight. First of all, because you're such a lovely bloke. It's so good that lovely things happen to lovely people. That's fantastic. I mean, and not everyone gets it as quickly as you do they?
No. Some people probably leave it too late. They probably, if they've got pain and hard to piddle, they probably just put up with it rather than doing something about it.
But again, if you haven't got the symptoms either.
Yes, well, that's dead right. You see, you don't always know you've got it.
Yeah. It's quite a lot of men get it, don't they?
Oh, yes, like 1 in 8 or something.
1 in 8?
Yes, and it's something like kills about 800 men a year or something.
Really?
Prostate cancer, yes.
Wow. Simply because people are leaving it that late.
Well, yes, but I think there are different sorts of prostate cancer.
Okay.
Because I know
of course.
One of the ladies at work, her brother got it, and he had to go for a biopsy, and then they said to him, we're taking that out next week.
Right, so there's different scales. Yeah.
There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's coming out.
Now we're getting beyond our pay scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget, this is just a conversation. We are not medical experts in any sense. Although I've got to say, Selwyn, you've got a lot more experience in the field than I have now. I was going to say, if there was one message you give to other men, what would it be?
One message, it would have to be PSA test. Keep your PSA test done, and the second message would be, the hospital system's not broke, it does work.
It's been lovely having you here. I'm so happy for you. So happy for you.
Thank you very much.
My name's Mark Bunting. We've been at the Cancer Society Waikato Bay Plenty Lions Lodge, and this has been Daffy to Daffy. And as they say in the trade, that's all, folks.